Hey there and welcome. John here. Thanks for visiting. I have a free gift for you that could end up making you a lot of money. I'm going to get to that in just a second, but first, I wanted to let you know that over the next few days, I'm going to be sharing a lot of information with you that you would normally have to pay for. All I ask is that you leave some feedback for me in the comment section below. And as a thank you for doing that, I'm going to choose a few people that have put some thought into their comments and reward them by showing them how to trade Forex for a living. I know from years of experience with students that many of you have full-time jobs. As a matter of fact, 49% of traders that are learning to trade have full-time jobs, while 28% have part-time jobs, and the remaining 23 are retired. I even know that 30% of traders are aged between 51 and 60 years old. And I also know that 19% of traders that are learning to trade are between the ages of 71 to 80. Now, I find this very interesting. Almost half of the people learning to trade are approaching retirement age or are already retired. I know these things because here at Tradeology, we work with and teach people trading every day and know exactly how to help them. The system you're about to get today is one that has been developed and used successfully for a very long time to make money. The reason I'm giving it away today is because I found something so exciting and powerful that I really don't need to keep this secret anymore, and I'm going to tell you more about that in the days to come. Today on this page, you'll see a fantastic system called the Dynamic Cash Tracker. Just click on the download button and it will let you download a file that contains the auto installer and the manual with the template and indicators, and it'll auto install it to your MetaTrader 4 platform. I'll show you how to install it and then I'll walk through the system with you. Okay, let's get started.
Okay guys, I'm now going to show you how to install the Dynamic Cash Tracker. Once you've downloaded it, then locate the file on your hard drive, wherever you've downloaded it to. You'll notice that it's a zip file, and a zip file is a compressed file which contains multiple files inside of it. So first we have to unzip it, or uncompress it, and we can do so by right-clicking on the file and choosing Extract, and then name the folder. If you don't have WinRAR like I have, you can use the 7-zip system, and I suggest that you extract to a new folder to stay organized. So if I click here, you'll see that I get the new folder, and all of the indicators and templates are inside. So next I'll start it. This is the auto installer file, and we'll click Next and Accept. Read the agreement and accept if you agree. Click Next. And then you can select the destination folder, and that means where you want to install it to. So if you have multiple MT4 platforms, you can choose which you want to use for this to install to. Then we hit Next, and this is a small recap. Next, the installation process is now happening. And it's done. So we can click Next, and the installation is complete. So now, if you want to run a certain MetaTrader platform right after you've downloaded and installed, you can click that. Otherwise, you can click Finish, and that's it. Alright, so let's now cover the Dynamic Cash Tracker system. First, I'm going to introduce you to the power and the secrets of the Marco moving averages. What you think you might know about moving averages is likely incorrect. Most people who use them wrong. Moving averages are a powerful tool, and they can provide you with a lot of information. They can tell you what direction the trend is moving, identifying long, medium, and short-term trends, what direction you should be trading, where there are good areas of support and resistance, give you entry signals, give you exit signals, and identify sideways markets. The trouble is that most traders use moving averages incorrectly. The general consensus is that you use two moving averages and place a trade when they cross over each other. This is indeed an option, but using the right type of averages with the right settings is important. Let's move on to what types of moving averages there are. Moving average types. Moving averages come in all types: simple or SMA, exponential or EMA, smoothed or SMMA, linear weighted or LWMA, whole or HMA, triangular TMA, double exponential or DEMA, and triple exponential or TEMA. Moving averages can be applied to different parts of the market price. For each candle, or bar, the moving average can be calculated using the close, the open, the high, or the low. Because of the programming ability that MetaTrader offers, there have been hundreds of variations of moving averages built by creative coders. Moving averages can be used as a single indicator on the chart, or they can be paired, tripled, or combined with dozens more. I'll be looking at the SMA and the EMA and how we can use these in their proper way. Next, we'll get to see the difference between an EMA and an SMA. The moving average you see on the chart is our own special version. It's the Marco MA2 color. When it slopes up, it's green, and when it slopes down, it's red. Identifying a trend. Moving averages are awesome tools to help identify a trend. Traders make the most money from the markets by trading in the direction of the overall trend. The easiest and most effective way to identify the trend is to use a longer period moving average. One of the industry standards is called the 50-day average. When the price is above the 50-day moving average, the trend is up, and we only look for long trades. The Marco moving average indicator prints bright green when price closes above it. When the price is below the 50-day moving average, the trend is down, and we look only for short trades. The Marco moving average indicator prints red when price closes below it. The cross of the price isn't generally used as a buy or sell signal. Instead, it's used to identify the direction we should be looking to place trades. When price crosses above the 50-day, we start looking for long trades. When price closes below the 50-day, we start looking for sell trades. The 50-day is used a lot by stock traders, but it's not the only way we can identify a trend direction. There are other ways. I like to use the 34 simple moving average, and with that, we look at the slope of the line on the chart. In the image below, the Marco moving average indicator prints bright green when the slope is up, and it prints red when the slope is down. So on the left, 34 SMA is sloped upwards, so look only for long trades. And on the right, 34 SMA is sloped downwards, look only for short trades. When the slope of the 34 SMA is up, we can be confident that the trend direction is upwards, and the best trades to take will be the long trades. In an uptrend, short trades will be very small and generally losing trades. The long trades will have the most momentum behind them and can go for a long way. When the slope of the 34 SMA is down, the overall trend is downwards, and the short trades become the trades that are the most appealing. When the 34 SMA is sloped upwards, we look only to take long trades. It doesn't matter if the price is above or below it. As long as the SMA is sloped up, we want to be taking long trades. In identifying a trend, it's important that we use a setting that's not too fast. We want to avoid using settings like 3, 5, or 8. The larger moving averages serve us better. 13 is fast, but it can work. 21, 34, 55, and so on make good slower moving averages. Another popular way to identify a trend is to use two exponential moving averages, one fast and one slow. In this example, we'll be using the 12 EMA and the 26 EMA. As in the image, when the 12 EMA crosses above the 26 EMA, the trend is upwards. When the trend is up, we look only to take long trades. When the 12 EMA crosses below the 26 EMA, the trend is down. Once this happens, we look only for short trades. The crossovers are not signals to take a long or short trade. The crossovers occur only to tell us the direction we will start looking for trades. When the MAs, moving averages, cross up, we start to look for long trades. When the MAs cross down, we start to look for short trades. The 12 and 26 settings are fairly quick settings for a pair of exponential moving averages. They are still very good settings. Another alternative is a little slower, and this is the 21 EMA and the 55 EMA. The slower the settings, bigger the period number, the longer it will take to switch trend direction. At the same time, it's less likely to get faked out by small moves in the market that could cause the trend to change on a set of faster moving averages. Avoid using small settings like 3 and 5, 5 and 8, or other single-digit numbers. They will get very messy and switch back and forth very easily. They don't provide any help when looking for a trend direction. I've built a special crossover indicator for you, one that makes the crossover easier to see and gives you a clear view of the trend. It's called the Marco Color Crossover Indicator and is included also in the download file for you. You can see it here. When the 12 EMA crosses above the 26 EMA, both moving averages will turn green. Additionally, there will be a green fill in between the moving averages to form a kind of a ribbon. When the 12 EMA crosses below the 26 EMA, both of the moving averages will turn red, and there will be a red fill in between the two moving averages. The indicator has options. You aren't stuck using the 12 EMA and the 26 EMA. You can change them to anything you want. You can use SMAs or one of each. You can choose the price method, open, high, low, or close, and you can even choose to shift one or both of the moving averages. Support and resistance. A moving average can provide us with what's called dynamic levels of support and resistance. The term dynamic is used because as the price moves, so does the moving average. It's able to follow the price and along the way provide good spots where the market will bounce off the EMA. In the image below, we use a 34 EMA. Price bounces off of it several times. First as support as price is above the 34 EMA, then as resistance as price moved below it, then back to support again. Dynamic support and resistance can also be accomplished with a simple moving average. It doesn't have to always be an EMA. When we have a new chart, start with a moving average like the 34 EMA and see if it works well as support and resistance. It might not. In cases when it doesn't, change the moving average setting until you find one that does work. Once you discover an appropriate moving average setting, this setting will likely continue to provide strong levels of support and resistance in the future. Entry signals. Moving average crossovers work well in providing us with trade signals. Smaller settings are good when we're looking for entry signals. We leave the larger settings for trend identification. In the image below, the EMAs are 3 EMA, 8 EMA. With the Marco Color Crossover Indicator, the crossovers are clear as day. The crossover up goes from red to green, the crossover down goes from green to red. The crossovers work really well in the trend direction. When the market is moving, it will generally move in the direction of the trend more than against the trend. Taking every crossover that comes along will result in as many losses as wins. So in order to limit these losses and improve the win ratio, we take trades in the trend direction only. In an uptrend, the entry signals are when the crossovers cross up. In a downtrend, the entry signals are when the crossovers cross down. Exit signals. Moving average crossovers work well as exit signals as well as entry signals. The same EMA settings that we use to enter a trade can be used to exit a trade. When we have a moving average cross upwards to signal a long trade, the exit would be when the moving averages cross downward. When we have a moving average cross downwards to signal a short trade, the exit would be when the moving averages cross upwards. A moving average crossover is an excellent way to exit a trade. The crossover can help us capture as much of the potential market move as possible. Trend traders love moving average crossover exit strategy. The gains using this exit method will often double, triple, or more the potential loss. The reward to risk ratio will average 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, sometimes even more. Sideways markets. The market is nice to trade when it's trending in the way we all want it to, but there are times when the market moves sideways and becomes too risky to trade. Choppy market conditions are a nightmare for many traders, but a moving average can help us see when the market is flat, choppy, and sideways. In a market that's moving sideways, one that is choppy and non-directional, a moving average will appear to move through the center of it. The price is flip-flopping above and below the moving average. The market isn't using it as support or resistance. The market isn't staying on one side or the other for very long, and it isn't pulling away from the moving average before it gets pulled right back again. This is a market that we do not want to trade. We stay clear of this kind of market. Moving Average Trading System 1. We're going to take the Marco Color Crossover and build a trading system out of it. It'll be called MAT S1. Moving Average Trading System version 1. We'll use the Marco color crossover indicator twice. This is what it'll look like. So on the left, you can see 3 EMA, fastest moving line closest to the price. Below that, 34 SMA, slowest and farthest from the price. Then 8 EMA, center line where the market is trending. Then on the right, you can see the 3 EMA, 8 EMA, and 34 SMA. So just by looking at the chart, you can get an idea of how this is going to be traded. We'll be looking for the trend direction with the SMA, and then be taking trades in that direction when the EMAs cross into the trend section. Setting up the chart. Step 1. Apply the Marco color crossover indicator. Use the settings 8 EMA and 34 SMA. Step 2. Apply the Marco color crossover indicator a second time. Use the settings 3 EMA and 8 EMA. Long rules. Step 1. The 8 and 34 color crossover must be green. Step 2. The 3 and 8 color crossover must be red. Step 3. Enter a long trade when the candle closes and it turns the 3 and 8 color crossover green. Step 4. Stop loss goes under the recent swing low. Step 5. Close the trade when the 3 and 8 color crossover turns red. Alternatively, you can choose to place a 1-to-1 profit target. So, you can see on the image here. Step 1, 8 and 34 is green. 2, 3 and 8 is red. 3. Enter on the close of candle that turns 3 and 8 green. 4. Stop under most recent swing low. And 5, 1-to-1 exit, or exit when 3 and 8 turns red. Short rules. Step 1. The 8 and 34 color crossover must be red. Step 2. The 3 and 8 color crossover must be green. Step 3. Enter a short trade when the candle closes and turns the 3 and 8 color crossover red. Step 4. Stop loss goes above the recent swing high. Step 5. Close the trade when the 3 and 8 color crossover turns green. Alternatively, you can choose to place a 1-to-1 profit target. So, as you can see on this image, Step 1, 8 and 34 is red. 2, 3 and 8 is green. 3, enter on the close of the candle that turns 3 and 8 red. 4, stop above most recent swing high. And 5, 1-to-1 exit, or exit when 3 and 8 turns red. Mat S1 buy example. So we can see in this example, Step 1, the 8 and 34 color crossover must be green. Step 2, the 3 and 8 color crossover must be red. Step 3, enter a long trade when the candle closes and it turns the 3 and 8 color crossover green. Step 4, stop loss goes under the recent swing low. And Step 5, close the trade when the 3 and 8 color crossover turns red. Alternatively, you could choose to place a 1-to-1 profit target. Mat S1 sell example. So in this example, Step 1, the 8 and 34 color crossover must be red. Step 2, the 3 and 8 color crossover must be green. Step 3, enter a short trade when the candle closes and it turns the 3 and 8 color crossover red. Step 4, stop loss goes above the recent swing high. And Step 5, close the trade when the 3 and 8 color crossover turns green. Or alternatively, you can choose to place a 1-to-1 profit target. Moving Average Trading System 2. We're going to take the Marco color crossover and the Marco MA2 color and build a trading system out of them. It'll be called Mat S2, Moving Average Trading System version 2. This is what it'll look like. You can see on the left, you have 12 EMA, 26 EMA Marco color crossover, and below that, the 50 SMA Marco MA2 color. And then beyond that, you have 12 EMA Marco MA2 color and 12 EMA, 26 EMA Marco color crossover. And then on the right, the 50 SMA Marco MA2 color, and below that, 12 EMA Marco MA2 color. Setting up the chart. Step 1. Apply the Marco MA2 color indicator using the setting 50 SMA. Step 2. Apply the Marco Color Crossover Indicator a second time using the settings 12 EMA and 26 EMA. Step 3. Apply the Marco MA2 Color Indicator using the settings 12 EMA. Long rules. Step 1. The 50 SMA must be green. The 12 and 26 EMAs must be above the 50 SMA and also be green. Step 2. The 12 EMA turns red. Step 3. Enter a long trade when the candle closes and it turns the 12 EMA green. Step 4. Stop loss goes under the recent swing low. Step 5. Close the trade when the 12 EMA turns red. Alternatively, you can choose to place a 1-to-1 profit target. So, as you can see on this chart, Step 1, 50 SMA is green, 12 and 26 is green. Step 2, 12 EMA turns red. Step 3, enter long trade when candle closes turning 12 EMA green. Step 4, stop goes under recent swing low. And Step 5, exit at 1-to-1 or when 12 EMA turns red. Short rules. Step 1. The 50 SMA must be red. The 12 and 26 EMAs must be below the 50 SMA and also be red. Step 2. The 12 EMA turns green. Step 3. Enter a short trade when the candle closes and it turns the 12 EMA red. Step 4. Stop loss goes above the recent swing high. Step 5. Close the trade when the 12 EMA turns green. Alternatively, you can choose to place a 1-to-1 profit target. So on this chart, you can see Step 1, 50 SMA is red, 12 and 26 is red. Step 2, 12 EMA turns green. Step 3, short on close of candle that turns the 12 EMA red. Step 4, stop goes above recent swing high. And Step 5, exit at 1-to-1 or when 12 EMA turns green. MAT S2 buy example. So on this chart, you can see Step 1, the 50 SMA must be green. The 12 and 26 EMAs must be above the 50 SMA and also be green. Step 2, the 12 EMA turns green. Step 3, enter long trade when candle closes and it turns the 12 EMA green. Step 4. Stop loss goes under the recent swing low. And Step 5. Close the trade when the 12 EMA turns red. Or alternatively, you can choose to place a 1-to-1 profit target. MAT S2 sell example. So Step 1. The 50 SMA must be red. The 12 and 26 EMAs must be below the 50 SMA and also be red. Step 2. The 12 EMA turns green. Step 3. Enter short trade when candle closes and it turns the 12 EMA red. Step 4. Stop loss goes above the recent swing high. Step 5. Close the trade when the 12 EMA turns green. Or alternatively, you can choose to place a 1-to-1 profit target. Conclusion. Moving averages are powerful tools when you know how to use them. And as you've seen, we can build a complete trading system based only on moving averages. We have learned that longer period moving averages for trend direction. Longer period moving averages can act as support and resistance. Trade in the direction of the trend. Smaller period moving averages for entry signals. Use the same moving averages used for entries for exits. Use moving average to determine a no-trade flat and sideways market. Most trading systems are based either directly on moving averages or loosely on moving averages. Some of the most commonly used indicators, like MACD, are based entirely on MAs. Use them to your advantage. Moving averages can be a profitable tool now that you know how to use them. Remember that you can download the full system indicators and manual right here on this page. Don't forget to leave a comment on what you like about the system below. Also, I will be announcing the winners in just a few days. Thanks for watching, and I'll be in touch soon with even more for you.